Hey guys, welcome to the show. I am Sri Lankan Sammi, retired with mom and dad. Let's just see. I'm going to do a little bit of testing here to see if I can zoom in a little bit. I don't know why it's not zoomed in, but we'll see what we can do. Thanks again for joining. I'm Sri Lankan Sammi, retired in Southeast Asia. I'm going to say thanks again for and the sound is spectacular. I love it. I love it. The sound is perfect, but the video is not the way I want it. So, anyway, today is our midweek podcast, whatever you want to call it. And we are going to talk about a couple of things. First, we're going to do a channel update. We're going to start by saying hello to all of our new subscribers. That's going to be really important. Every Wednesday and maybe on Saturday or Sundays, we're going to say hi to the new subscribers, the ones who are joining, the ones who are climbing on board, getting involved in the community. I love it. I love it. Let's see if this does it. Yeah, there we go. That's a lot better. Get to see my ugly face. Anyway, I want to start off by saying hello to. Let's go back a little bit. All right. So these are the people who allow their subscriptions to be public. So you can be subscribed, but I won't see who you are unless you comment as well. So we have Owen, Darren, of course, Chris P from Korea, Tyson, Nisanka I know very well. Gordy, thanks again, brother. You are my brother from Canada. Let me tell you something. Love it. I love your participation and the fact that you are really wanting to make change. I love it. Andy P, Ole O, MCJ, Mohammed M, Jamie Lynn with Pets, Praga K, Adriana. That's who I was trying to remember last time. Adriana, you are an inspiration. Let me tell you something. I absolutely love what you and your family is trying to do. And I would truly love to have you on the channel as a guest. And I would love to have you participate in like what it is that in a Q&A and like what it is that you're doing. We should chat a little bit more. Christopher Oshab, who is is the owner of the company that I bought my desk from and who installed it. Lee T, thanks again for joining. Sibalingam G, Janus P. And then we had another one that joined today, but it didn't pop up, and that is AJ Feynman. So thank you for joining. Wellman 867 and Gordon, you both made comments about the music. I'm gonna try to like fine tune it, but maybe you weren't talking about the music. Maybe you're talking about the wind noise because I didn't really hear. I could hear myself, and because when I do my editing, I make sure the voice is over every other sound. So maybe you could pinpoint a time in one of the videos, comment in the video, and say at timestamp number blah blah blah. I can't hear you. Then I can go back and I can listen to it on my end and just see. You know, was it my editing or maybe it could be on your end? We can try to figure out because again, I do want to make the vlogs better. All right, thanks again for your pointing out. Simon Bog, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for your very, very kind words and for your subscription. I absolutely appreciate that. Who else commented? Wandering Monk. And I love it. They were also in Korea and China, American. And love that. VWA Patchy. And was commenting on, the laws that are restricting foreigners from settling down permanently, like some of the restrictions. And I mean, you have to draw the line somewhere when it comes to your citizens being first, right? I understand their point and I understand your point. So that's a topic. That's a good topic, JM, brother, thanks for porting over from the other channel. Love it. Joseph B, thanks again for your beautiful comment. I love it. Thank you so much. Nick M, who is a Sri Lankan, who said returning back to Sri Lanka after retirement. Please come home, brother. Let me tell you. Lee Taylor was the person I was talking about, who is 51, his wife is 47, trying to come back to retire here in Sri Lanka and unable, because they're too young, to get that retirement visa. And here's what I would suggest, just a suggestion. Retire in the Philippines, and then once the visa is ready, come over to Sri Lanka, or figure out a way to come here long-term before you can get the retirement visa. But those are things that you guys got to explore on your end, because I can't give advice, because I don't know your financial situation, I don't know your family situation, I don't know your visas and your citizenships, and it's just so complicated. And as I've said before, it changes every month. Look at Thailand right now. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on over there. The amount of changes that are occurring. And I hope you guys like the quality of the video, because I've tweaked some settings to give it a little bit more oomph, right? And Darren, I'm gonna keep the subtitles, because as a new channel, what happens is that when people see my video, new subscribers, when they see my video, sometimes they're not having the sound on. And if they can read it at the same time, maybe they'll stick around for a few minutes to read what I'm talking about. And then if they stick around and they like it, maybe they'll subscribe. And that's basically all I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to get the subscribers who are interested in my content. So I'm sorry if the music and the subtitles are not what you're used to, but I know that YouTube does its own subtitles and you can turn it on and turn it off. But the problem is people don't turn them on. And I don't want to lose even one subscriber who is truly and keenly interested in my content. So please, if you're interested in this type of content, in retirement, and how that journey of how to get to retirement, I'm a 56-year-old Canadian Sri Lankan citizen, semi-retired in Sri Lanka, planning on figuring out where I want to fully retire within the next 2 years. And I'm hoping this channel builds a community, number one. Number two, provides a supplementary source of income. The faster I can grow this channel and earn money, the faster I can retire. Otherwise, I'm going to have to wait 3 years until my pension comes. I can't fully retire until my pension comes. I don't have enough because I started late. That's another thing. How do you maximize the money that you have to be able to retire, right? So that's the other thing. So that's what we're going to talk about. Anyway, what are we going to do today? I have been making videos. Oh my gosh, editing, making videos. I had a few problems with one of the apps I'm using, but it fixed itself, or I fixed it. I don't know what I did to fix it, but it fixed. But let me tell you something. The amount of time that is spent editing the videos. I don't know how I'm going to do 5 or 6 videos a week, but I'm going to do it. And here's the thing. A lot of people ask, what is my day like? What do I do? How am I coping, etc., etc. And it's really quite boring. Living here at home, I have I have everything I need. My parents, mom does the laundry because she doesn't want me doing it. Otherwise, I would do it myself. We have a maid that cleans. We have a cook that cooks, and we have a driver that drives. I have to do nothing. But I do, I wash my own dishes, I clean my own room, I try to do my own laundry, I keep things clean, I buy food for the family. Whenever I want something, I order for everybody. Darren, oh, by the way, the part for the car is not available in Australia because the car was never sold in Australia. What I found is that the vehicle is old. It's 12, 13 years old, so the parts are not available brand new. So what I got to do is I'm going to go to the Philippines next month, and our model car was sold in the Philippines. So I'm going to go to a disassembler or a junkyard and see if I can find the part. And not the part pulled out of the car, but the actual car, and then pull the part out of the car. So there's steps I got to take to figure that out, and that's an adventure that we're going to do. Who's here? I don't know. There's nobody supposed to be here. It sounds like there's someone here. Let's check the cameras. No, there's no one here. Maybe it's coming from outside. Anyway. Yeah, it's coming from outside. It's coming from next door. Anyway. Say hi if you're on, and if you're watching after the fact, please just make a comment. Let me know what you think. So, I wanted to talk about the difference of my life that's going to be here and it's going to be in Philippines. So up until recently, all I did was work because all I needed to do was make money. All I did was work because I wanted to make the money. And I didn't have time for anything else. And to plan something with anyone is a whole big thing here. I don't know. I haven't made any friends here. I'm coming up in February. I'll be here 4 years. I haven't made any friends. I have relatives, but they all have their own families and stuff. And I've made a couple of friends, but to meet up with people is just so difficult for me because I live so far away. And for me to plan something, I actually have to get the driver to stay with me the whole day. And it's just a waste. It's just a waste of his time. I mean, he's paid for his time. He's paid a salary. But I feel bad. I feel bad him just sitting around all day doing nothing. But Mom says, don't worry about it. That's his job. And I'm like, yeah, it's a moral thing. I personally don't like it. So if I take a taxi and then, I have to carry everything with me and blah, blah, blah. And trying to find a taxi home sometimes is not the easiest thing. So then I want to stay down there in Colombo for the day, and then that gets expensive and blah, blah, blah. So it's just a whole big process. And I am too far from the beach to go to the beach. And even the beach here is not that great. Like to go to Negumbo is 40 minutes. I may go this weekend just because I need to get out of the house. But the weather has been cloudy the last couple of days. Now, how will that be different in October, November? Well, my contract ends in October. So the first week, Sarah and Anuj will be there. Second week, Anuj will be there, my friend from Korea. The last week, my friend Laura from Korea is coming. So all of October, I'll have friends from Korea coming. Hopefully in December, I'll have more for Christmas. So what happens is at the end of October, after everything is said and done, and I get back into the rhythm of work and play, my friend Tim obviously lives there, but he's got his wife, you know, and he's got his things. But I'll be hanging out with him at least 2 or 3 times a week. I'm going to try not to spend money. What that means is I'm going to try not to go out for dinner every night, like expensive places. Like I have to eat, but I don't eat dinner. I just have lunch. So once Sarah leaves and Anuj leaves, because I go out with him, we'll go out to the bars and he likes to party. So, but I'm not going to drink. Once everything settles down and November, like all my contracts are done, except for the kids' contract. The adult contracts are done. The kids' contract will continue. So how I think it'll work is the same thing that it worked in Supik when I was in Supik Bay 3 years ago. When I have free time, I'm going to get up and walk to the beach. Now, I am about 5 minutes by scooter from the beach, so I'll have to take the motorcycle to the beach. And I will do what I did before, which is get into the water, walk, talk, meet people. That's how I met California Dave in Philippines 3 years ago. We were just walking by the beach. He's got his dogs, and I just started chatting with him, and we became great friends. He even showed up in Thailand 2 years ago. Last minute, like 24 hours before I landed, he's like, it was so great. He was like, when are you going to Thailand? I'm like, in 24 hours. He's like, okay, what time are you landing? And we ended up landing at exactly the same time. Him from Philippines, me from Sri Lanka. It was great. It was so funny to bump into each other at arrivals. So anyway, my plan is to become more social because I need to explore Cebu as a place where I want to retire. Now, I'm not 100% sure on Cebu. I think I'm actually leaning towards a couple of other places. Roxas City near Boracay, I think would be a little bit better. I've heard great things about it. It's a lot cheaper, and you still have the beach, and you still have the ability to go to Boracay, which is a few hours away. Cebu City, I won't live on where I live unless I find a really nice place. Unless I can find a place for like $200 a month. Because if I can drop my cost of living from what I'm predicting right now is about $1,000 to $1,200 a month. If I can drop it down to $800, then we're looking at, definitely a possibility. Because I don't drink and I don't eat a lot of food, right? So I have to go to this trip figuring out what are the hidden costs, right? Because we all think, okay, I have to pay for internet, I have to pay for this, I have to pay for that. But then all of a sudden, I found this one thing that I like to do and it's going to cost me money. Or whatever, whatever. So if I can drop it down to like $800 a month with a buffer of $200, then I'm probably going to think about making a longer trip next year. so that, let's say, July or August of next year, I will make a move. And maybe I won't do Cebu. Maybe I'll do like Roxas City, Roxas, on the north coast, southeast of Boracay. So I'm close to the airport. I'm close to Boracay. The Cebu beaches are not the best. You have to travel outside of Cebu to go to the beach. So I think that my right now my free time is taken up by like not doing anything. I'm not exercising as much as I should because I'm not motivated. Anybody have any tips on how I can get motivated to exercise? I've tried it, and it's that first week of like getting motivated to do something. You know, I just like lying down. I absolutely love lying down and doing nothing, or just sitting around and just watching YouTube or playing video games. It's just so relaxing and enjoyable to me. But when I get to Cebu, I have to get out more, because obviously I'm going to be doing more YouTube content, and I got to create more content. So I have to get out. I can't just sit around like I am right now, which is why I was only doing 2 videos a week at one point, because I didn't have any content. But now I'm preparing a lot of content. So like this month, we're going to be doing 4 videos a week, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. You're going to notice that starting this week, we're 4 videos a week and 2 live streams. Only Saturday, there's no video produced, because I found that nobody watches YouTube on Saturdays. So the video that I post on Saturdays is a wasted video because it doesn't go into the rotation. Only like the hardcore viewers tune into it. It doesn't get out in front of other people. Now, the other thing is that thank you so much to my subscribers. I have got, what are we at right now? 67? Yeah, about 67 subscribers. And hundreds and hundreds of hours. It's incredible. 139 hours and 68 subscribers. I love it. 68 subscribers and 139 hours. The watch time, the views, you know, they spike. Every time there's a video, they spike. I love it. I love it. The subscribers are growing. I had 9 subscribers in one day. That's absolutely stupendous. Now, I'm looking at the analytics. Now, the analytics are about a week behind, but the hardcore subscribers, okay, and I'm meaning the 40 to 50 of you going back a week, are watching every single one of my videos. And the average view time is huge. So many people are envious of my view time. It's 5 or 6 minutes average view time. Now, my videos are 20 or 30 minutes long, but that's still a good view time. If you're watching 5 minutes of, on average, you're seeing 2 commercials, right? So that's great. I love it. And I'm happy that you guys are happy. So thank you for that. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what questions you have. If you have anything, let me know. I'm more than happy to answer anything you want. So I think that moving to the Philippines for the next 5 months, I think will help the channel and help the content and help you guys and me understand what the next step is over the next 2 years. I'm not going to decide on Cebu. I'm not going to decide on Bohol. Although Bohol, I don't want to live there because it's too remote. Dumaguete or Roxas. I've heard between Dumaguete and Roxas it's like 50-50. And so I have to go to each city and I have to live there for a month or longer. and I have to live there just outside of the high season. So if I, like, let's pretend I go next year. I will start off in, I will land in Cebu, drop off my stuff at Tim's house, and then carry what I need to, and then fly off to Rojas City. And I will stay there for a month. And I will stay there August or September, just outside of the high season, not in the rainy season, so I can get a feel for the good time. And I will experience it for a month or two. And I'll come back to Cebu, stay in Cebu for 6 months, and then February, March, go to Dumaguete City. Now, I have friends in Dumaguete City, or not friends, people I know, other YouTubers who I can connect with. And I have one in Rojas City, that a Canadian guy. So I can kind of like connect with him and say, listen, I'm coming. Can can we meet up so we can have a chat to give me advice, right? So in 1 year, I can experience 2 cities in the high season outside of the rainy season. And that will give me a better understanding of like the 3 main foreigner retirement zones. There's other cities, Sujur, Dumaguete has another city just close by. I can't remember what it's called. But there's many, many cities and stuff like that. But you want, like, the main things you want is you want cost of living, you want access to healthcare, transportation, and then you want beach. Food, food for me isn't a big deal. I love local food. So, I've been away from Western food for so long that to me, it doesn't make a difference. If I don't ever eat steak again, it won't matter to me. Won't matter to me. As long as I have good chicken, good pork, I'm satisfied with that for my protein, and then obviously seafood. I am, and one of the other videos I'm going to do soon is like why I'm sour. And I don't want to use the word souring. Why I used to think Thailand was going to be where I retire, and now why I think Philippines. From everything I'm seeing online, the tipping scale is balanced, tipping more towards Philippines. It used to be more towards Thailand. And the biggest factor was convenience, cost of living, and access to the entire triangle of Philippines, Sri Lanka, Vietnam, and Indonesia. But now, even though Philippines is on the edge of my transit zone, I think it's leaning more towards there. And we're going to talk about that in a future video. Where do you guys want to retire? What are your thoughts? Let me know. I'm curious. Because, I only talk about a few places. I've only visited a few places. But I fell in love with them because of the comfort, because of the social aspect, and because of the technological convenience of me being able to work. That's also a factor. So I think that this is a good first step for me, because the longest I've been gone, other than the 5 months I did 3 years ago, I was never thinking that was more of just a party for me. I wasn't really planning on retirement when I was in Subic, and I didn't like Subic, so I wasn't even thinking about it. I enjoyed the people, I enjoyed the beach, but I would not live there. Just absolutely. I would give it a second chance, but it soured me. And I know people there, and California Dave is there, and I would love to meet up with him again and hang out with him because he's made that his home. There's other people there I don't want to see or meet because it's just so negative. It's just so not. And you can't avoid bumping into them because it's such a small community. So it soured me. That's what Subic Bay soured me. Pattaya is souring now for me because of just the amount of tourists that are there. I mean, obviously I can do Jomtien. It's just that it's so easy to get sucked in, into the Pattaya life when you get bored. And that's the thing. If you don't have a hobby, I talked about this in a video coming up. If you don't have a hobby, if you don't have something to do and you're bored, you can so easily fall into that trap of the sins, alcohol, broccoli, and women. And if you're not careful, you can get yourself in trouble. I'm gonna do a couple more videos in November. Like October is gonna be full of like a lot of like moving to Cebu, the vacation with Lady Sarah, hanging out with Anuj, a lot of like socializing videos. Then in November, I'm gonna get into like more of the culture, politics, and finances of retirement. November and December, I can see a lot of content that's coming out of like more settling down, going to the doctor, going to the dentist, getting glasses, getting blood tests, how to do online shopping, how to do banking, how to transfer money, things to avoid. One of the things I want to talk about, which is a lot of people don't, is the stress of retiring. I'm not talking about the cost. I'm not talking about the social. I'm not talking about the culture. I'm talking about the visas, about the legalities, the bureaucracy, the headache that is your legal status, and everyday stress of worrying about your legal status. What happens if you get into a car accident? What happens if you get into a civil legal dispute? Because you're a guest. Everything about your visa is contingent on your moral status. If you cause problems, you are no longer welcome in the country, and your visa can be revoked for any reason, and you have no legal standing. You're a guest at the pleasure of the immigration minister. If he decides, or anyone else with the power decides that you're no longer welcome, bye-bye. Can you imagine, like let's put it this way. I've never understood illegal immigrants or people who know they're beyond their visa. The biggest fear I would have if I was, let's say I was in Korea and I was working illegally. I had my visa. I had a tourist visa. Let's say I had my tourist visa, and I mean, come on, I hear about it all the time. Foreigners who get caught working illegally. Oh, but I was just volunteering at a hostel. That's still receiving something for you. Babysitting, au pair, not receiving money, but receiving like room and board. That's a financial benefit, and that's illegal. People don't understand that. And how many times I've seen it happen? They get arrested, and what happens to all your stuff? You have no one there. Your friends? Like, what are you going to do? All your stuff is, and you're not allowed to leave the detention center. You can't go home and get your stuff. The police will go and get your passport maybe, but all of your stuff is gone. All that investment, all that money, your bank accounts are frozen because it's all illegal. Any money you had in your apartment is all frozen because it's all illegal. And you're deported with just the clothes on your back. Maybe they'll bring your clothes and your passport and some paperwork or whatever you have lying around if they're feel like it, but they don't have to. You're deported. That's it. Go home. Goodbye. Can you imagine that? All of that investment? Forget about it. That's the biggest fear. Now, obviously, if you are legal and then you go through deportation, yeah, you have a right to go, and get your stuff and clear up your affairs. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I've never been involved in that situation. I have no idea how deportation works after a criminal charge or whatever. But during the criminal process, obviously, unless it's serious, you have bail. And that's another thing I got to look at. Is Philippine, do they offer bail? Like, we have that Vitali guy who's like, he's got 3 years in jail before his trial even starts. He didn't get bail. And his charges were minor. So I got to look that up. I doubt there's bail. Korea doesn't have bail. Don't know about Sri Lanka. I should look into this. I think that would be a good topic, is what happens if you are charged criminally? Not saying that you are bad, but let's say you accidentally cause an accident, you manslaughter somebody, right? That's a criminal charge. You have to go through the process. You're arrested. They have to. There's no choice. They have to arrest you. They have to jail you. What happens next? Those are things that we don't think about. Things happen by accident, right? You're driving down the road and you get into an accident and you manslaughter somebody. It's not like, oh, wham, bam, thank you, sorry. Like, oh, I didn't do it on purpose. Okay, have a nice day. No, you have to go through the due process. So that's a serious thing as well. And police, just like, I'm not saying Philippine police, I'm saying police anywhere in the world, they arrest first and let the courts deal with it, except in Korea. They don't do that in Korea, which I love. The police investigate, hand it over to the prosecutor. The prosecutor decides if there's enough evidence for an arrest. And only in serious matters are you jailed. They don't have what's called bail. They just release you pending a trial. Unless you're like, murder or something like that. They don't even handcuff you when they take you into, unless you're violent. Like, for example, another YouTuber, Johnny Somali, he's detained in South Korea. They just took away his passport and did a transportation ban. So any port that he goes to, his name is blacklisted. He can't leave the country. The only way is swim across to North Korea or, find a boat to take you to Japan. But he's banned from Japan, too. I doubt China would ever let him in, sneak into China. That's really bad. Anyway, he's stuck on that. For all intents and purposes, South Korea is an island because there's no way to cross the northern land border. There's 2 or 3 international airports. Otherwise, the ports. There's 3 international airports. Sorry, 3. And the seaports. Otherwise, there's no way on or off the island, off the peninsula. So he's stuck there. Vitali, that guy, oh my God. He's the reason why I have so many, I'm so concerned right now. But it kind of blew over. This thing about having to do like blurring out faces and stuff like that and doing all of that, that kind of blew over, and I haven't heard anything. None of the vloggers that I've seen have said anything, and none of them are editing their videos, which for me is like a huge problem because I tried to do it and it's really hard. Really, really hard. But, I'll just play dumb. Anyway. 3 weeks from today. 3 weeks from today will be my last vlog in Sri Lanka. And then right after the vlog, a few hours later, I start packing to leave. I'm so excited. It's like I'm going crazy. This weekend, I will start. I I will start pulling clothes and things and putting them in a pile and just checking off my checklist to make sure I've seen everything. I'm going to do a quick test on computers to see and make sure I have all the right cables and enough cables. I'll do a live test because I'm taking my powerful laptop and I'm taking a smaller laptop as a backup. So in case the powerful laptop dies, I have a backup for work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have 2 workstations like I have now. I figured out that 2 workstations is better than 1. The older laptop will do my work. So I'll have the Zoom and everything running on that. The powerful laptop will be set up if I want to play a game, if I want to, do whatever. And the YouTube editing will be done on the powerful laptop because you need a powerful GPU to compile the videos and stuff like that. It's taking a long time to do it on this one, but it doesn't matter because this one sits around and does nothing. So if it takes 4 hours to compile a video, go ahead. I'm not using it. Also, that computer is actually 9 years old. The board is broken and only 1 channel works for RAM. So I only got 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's not a lot of RAM. The CPU is old. So it takes a long time to process a video. But I had all but time on that one. Stock market today. Oh, wow. What a crazy day. Today is Wednesday. The last 3 days, Friday was a holiday. The last 3 days, the market has been volatile. Oh my God. The pullback, I lost about 8% over the last 3 days of my portfolio. But today, all morning, the price was going down, 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 and I was like, I was at 80. I was at a high of 90% a couple of days ago, and then we had pullback for profit taking, and then up this morning I was down to 81%, and I'm back up to 84%. It pulled back. It was all profit taking, and that's what I use. I use ChatGTP. And I said, do a deep dive. You have to do the right prompts. You can't just use it as Google. You have to use the right prompts. I said, think like a stockbroker and an investor. Go online and use your powers of investigation and analyzing and research all of the information that's being published about why the CSE, Colombo Stock Exchange, is so volatile these days. Is it an outside influence? Is it IMF? Is it internal? Is it profit taking? What is everyone talking about? What is the street talking about? And what is the short-term consensus as to what is happening, why it's happening, and will there be a turnaround? So it took 15 minutes to do the research. I have ChatGPT 5 thinking, which is the deep, deep thinking. And it took its time. It took 15 minutes to research and think about the answer. And it provided the answer. It said it is purely speculative. There is no consensus, no mitigating factors other than profit taking. And because we're at a target number of 22,000. So it hit that 22,000, then profit taking, then went back up, went back down, went up. So it's doing this step thing, but it's constantly going because ChatGPT said the fundamentals are strong. The IMF is strong. Revenues are strong. Money coming into Sri Lanka is strong. Tourism dollars are strong. Tourism results are strong. Exports are strong. Tariffs are set. So all the factors are good, and also my stocks are still undersold, not oversold or overbought or whatever. They're below target level. So all of that is taken into account, and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting close to my 80% sell alarm. So if it drops below 80%, I have a sale alarm. So Um, zoom in. Yeah, I have hand gestures set on this thing so I can zoom in. I have a sale alarm at 80%, and we were getting very close to hitting that. And I was like, what's going on? Anyway, that being said, it's funny to watch my old channel and to see the videos. I'm still getting subs, I'm still getting views, but the views have kind of dropped off because there's no new content. People are watching all the old content. And I'm still getting subscribers. I think I got like 50 subscribers in the last couple weeks, which is okay. You know, as long as the channel remains over 4,000 hours, I'm still getting paid out of that channel. I'm not making a huge amount of money, but hey, any money I get from that channel is free money. Who doesn't want free money? So every penny going towards the channel goes towards my retirement, and the less I have to work and the more fun I can have. That's the important thing. So anyways, we're going to wrap up in the next 10 minutes because I have to get ready for another class. I have 3 more hours of work, which is so easy today. It's 2 hours of just listening to a kid read a storybook. One of them is Harry Potter and the other one is another storybook. The last one is a kid that is just loves to just casually talk. We have a structured class, but he just loves to talk. So 3 50-minute classes are just going to be such an easy evening. Mom and Dad went out for dinner, visiting a friend. So I have dinner is all on me, which I will figure out later on. So yeah, I am going to see you all on Sunday morning. I'm going to continue on with the live streams at this time and on Sundays. Maybe I'll start doing a live stream on Saturdays. I don't know. Saturday morning and then Sunday night. I don't know. Let me ask you guys, when do you want to watch? When do you want to be on a live stream? When is a good time for a live stream? I know, Darren, you said your times, right? But what about everybody else? When do you want to join on a live stream where we can talk as a community? Now, eventually, when I get to be bigger, I will start a live 24-hour live community, either on Discord or some type of platform where we can get together as members. It'll be like not a public forum. It'll be members only. Obviously, the members will be free, but it'll be vetted so that we can join together as a community. I want to find, like, again, I'm going to use ChatGPT to figure this out, where my vision is a platform where people can watch, people can view, but to participate, they have to register and become a member. And I got to vet them, right? So that it's not, where we don't have trolls, where it's going to be a community of us, which is what I like here. Gordy, Terry, Darren, Adriana, you guys are, JM, you guys are always strong supporters of each other. Again, we may not always agree. We may not always believe or what have you. We have our own opinions, but we share. And I don't want people saying, you're right, you're wrong, that's great. I don't agree. I like this, but hey, that's great for you. And that's the thing. I want this to be a repository of information of like-minded people where we're not just yes men, right? Where we all have diverging opinions and experiences so that everyone else can learn I'm not here to teach you anything. I'm here to tell you what I did wrong and to show you what I'm doing today to get to where I want to be. Now, if you want to follow in my footsteps, great. If you want to take what I've learned and adjust it, great. And if you want to learn from my failures, even better. And if you want to give me advice on what I should be doing, I will listen. I may not always follow it, but I will listen and I will appreciate that advice, because I may not do it, but somebody else might. And they might be successful. So that it's all about sharing practical experience. And then as well, the important thing is practical experience, real life experience, not something that happened 20 years ago. Okay, not something that if it happened 20 years ago, is it still applicable today? If I did it last year, is it still applicable today? Maybe not. That's why I don't do visa stories, because the information becomes stale. That's why I don't do rental stories, because the information becomes stale. I want my vlogs to be pertinent. Now, I will touch on visas, I will touch on rentals and cost of living and stuff like that, because it's cost of living, especially, it shows a progression. But again, even cost of living changes every freaking month, right? So it doesn't make any sense. That's why I want the live community. That's why I want the live streams. And that's why I want, like, for example, a Discord where I can always be on, because it's on your phone. You know, if I'm away for like an hour or two, it's okay. But the Discord will be like, anytime you want to get in contact with any team member or any community member, their information is there, and you can just leave them a message, right? It can either be private or it can be public. But anyone who wants to register has to pass vetting, right? So that we're all in this together. And I think that that's a good platform. I mean, I've used Discord before and I like it. And I think we could use something like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be Discord. It could be something else. I don't know. You know, maybe like a chat room but again, I want it where it's like structured, organized, and vetted. I don't want it, you know, and then as we get bigger, I can have moderators. It can't just always be me. So I think the key word here is I want to form a community. And I'm so happy that the 60 of you, the 67 of you are so interested in what I have to say and what we as a community have to say. So please pass this on to people who you think might be interested in joining this community, not just surfing for the sake of surfing, not just subscribing for the sake of subscribing. I don't want subscribers who never watch. That is what the other channel failed, where the other channel failed. I want subscribers to watch every video from beginning to end. I want every subscriber to comment. I want every subscriber to like. I want you to hit the bell icon so that you know when a new video comes out. I want you to click the thumbs up button. I want you to participate. Now, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to. That's what I want. And especially at the beginning, it's so key. When I started my old channel, I just got everybody and anybody to subscribe just to get subscribers. But that's not the way to do it. I'm actually telling you, don't subscribe unless you are actually interested in joining a community. Watch videos, okay, but don't subscribe. Like videos, but don't subscribe. Only subscribe if you are interested in joining our family, our community, and participating. You know, I mean, you can subscribe, yeah, you don't have to participate, but like I said, this is the right way to grow a YouTube channel, is to have the subscribers be part of a community. And this is everything I'm learning, not from YouTube or anything like that, not from ChatGPT, but from experience, from the old channel and what I see happening and what probably makes sense. I mean, that's what makes sense with YouTube. YouTube wants people watching 24/7. So the longer you watch, the better my channel looks in YouTube's algorithm. It only makes sense, right? So if you subscribe and watch, and you watch like all my videos from beginning to end, you're watching a lot of commercials, which is making YouTube money. So that's why I'm asking you not to subscribe unless you're interested in the community, in the family, in the content. So, but thank you to everyone who does, and thank you to everyone who is not subscribed and is watching videos and clicking that thumbs up button and commenting. I love it. I will answer every single comment until I can no longer take the time to answer comments. And that's when I will probably hire someone. Okay? I mean, I would love to employ people to edit my videos, to comment, and to script out content for me so that I can go out there and live life and be part of this community to help. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. We are coming up on 1 hour. I always love you all from the deepest, darkest places of my heart. I truly, truly appreciate. I know we're just starting it out. I know that this time on Wednesdays does not get a lot of participation. I love that you guys join me on Sunday mornings. Truly appreciate that. But it will change. It will change. It will get better. And we will have that. So thank you to you. Lots of love to you guys. Remember, please learn to live life. Don't let life live you. Be good to each other. Be kind to each other, especially here in the community. And remember, we're not strangers. We're just friends who haven't met yet. We'll see you all on the other side.